This is one of the stories that was never written down. I had buried my wife and my son. A stranger came close, whispered 2 words in my ear, and left, hair still wet under the sun. I never saw him again, and the days no one wants to live began. The custom of my people is wise with grief. 7 days without going out, without working, without touching anyone, without a word that isn't mourning. The world steps back from the one who lost everything, and you're grateful for it, and you hate it both at once. You want them to leave you in peace, but once they do, the silence weighs more than the people did. They leave you alone with your dead, so the soul can do what it has to do. But my soul did nothing. It just stared at the wall. I counted the days by the light. In the morning it came in from the east and crawled across the dirt floor. In the evening it left through the west and left me in the dark. 7 times. I barely ate. Neighbors left bread and olives at the door and left without knocking, as respect demands. In those 7 days I thought one thing, over and over, that the man who walked into this house with a wife no longer existed, and that I, the one left behind, didn't know his name, didn't know what he wanted, didn't know if he wanted to go on. The only thing that never faded was those 2 words a stranger had left in my ear. On the 8th day, my body ached from not moving, and I was thirsty, an old thirst, many days deep. I went out for the first time. The light hit me like an open hand. I went out as morning demands. The torn tunic over my chest, unstitched, no cloak, no proper sandals, hair and beard without a drop of oil. A man half-dressed, because I was half-buried myself. The village went on, of course, but now I watched it from outside, like a dead man walking among the living. I went to the well in the little square. The old well, its stone worn smooth by 1,000 hands before mine. And he was there, the stranger, sitting on the edge, as if he'd been waiting for me, as if he knew the exact hour a broken man comes out looking for water. It didn't surprise me. I don't know why. With him, nothing ever felt like coincidence. He looked at me, smiled, and without a word, he lifted the wooden lid off the well and started down the stone steps toward the water. Every ounce of reason told me no, that a grieving man doesn't follow a stranger down into a well. But I followed him. I climbed down behind him, into the dark and the damp. I didn't know I was climbing down to find something more than water. Down below, the air was cool and smelled of wet earth. The water lay still, mirroring the little light that reached from above. The young man knelt at the water's edge. He drank from his own hand, slowly. Then he wet his hair, the back of his neck, like someone setting down a weight. And he laughed. A clean laugh, a child's laugh, right there, at the bottom of a well, next to a man who smelled of death. I didn't understand any of it. How could someone be that alive? In a world like this, it had been years since I'd laughed, and this stranger seemed to have never stopped. And then something happened. His hand underwater went still. It touched something at the bottom. He held there a moment, as if listening. He pulled his closed hand out, opened it, slowly. It was a stone, deep blue, with violet glints, like a piece of night with light inside it. I had never seen a stone like that at the bottom of any well in Galilee. He cleaned it with his thumb, looked at it like someone recognizing something, not like someone finding it. And he gave it to me. He didn't tell me what it was, didn't tell me where it came from, didn't tell me why me. He just closed my fingers around it with both of his hands. And for the first time in many days, I felt like something belonged to me. We climbed back up in silence. Above, the light again, the village again. He straightened his cloak, still damp, and walked off with that stride of his, without looking back, as if what had just happened were the most natural thing in the world. I stood alone in the little square, a blue stone in my fist, and I understood something that made my head spin. I no longer knew who I was. I had buried the man I used to be. I was lost, nameless, without direction. But that stranger, he seemed to know. Those 2 words he'd spoken like someone who'd known me his whole life. He knew who I was, right when I had stopped knowing. Who was this man who found impossible stones in the water and knew me better than I knew myself? I had to find out who he was, and to find him, I was going to have to return to the one place where a man starts over. Work, got. Chapter 3, The Gift.